When I started wholesaling at 19 years old, it took me 3 months to get my first contract signed. But looking back, I could have gotten it done in 30 days if I would have known what I'm about to share with you. A simple step-by-step guide to getting that first wholesale contract without getting overwhelmed by all the advanced stuff. This video is all about getting your first win under your belt and proving to yourself that this actually works. If you follow this playbook, 30 days is totally realistic, but even if it takes you 60 or 90 days, you'll still be way ahead of where I was. Starting off with the foundation setup. Think of wholesaling like being a matchmaker between stressed out homeowners and investors. You need exactly 3 things: a phone, a way to find leads, and basic contracts. Now for those first 2 things, a phone and finding leads, you can do all of that with Deal Machine. And Deal Machine is only $120 a month, and if you use promo code CAM, you'll get a 7-day free trial. With Deal Machine, you're able to call from there, you're able to get their phone numbers and skip trace them, you're able to drive for dollars, you're able to pull lists. It's an all-in-one platform just for getting started. And as far as basic contracts, just go to the link in the description to download mine for free. That's it, under $150 total, and you're ready to get started. So now that you're ready to get started, let's move on to finding motivated sellers. Start with virtual driving for dollars. You can either use the driving for dollars feature on Deal Machine, or if you don't have the money for Deal Machine, you can simply use Google Maps or Google Earth. It's completely free and it works. I want you to think of it like hunting for treasure in neighborhoods that you can research from your couch. And I want you to look for houses that scream, "I need help." Boarded up windows, overgrown grass, peeling paint, whatever the case may be that screams, "I need help." When you find these types of houses, add those addresses to Deal Machine. And from there, Deal Machine will do all the heavy lifting and find the phone numbers to the owners, possible relatives, even the emails, so you can get in touch with them in any way possible. Your goal is to build a list of 50 to 100 distressed properties within your first week. And from here, I want you to do what I did. Focus on one neighborhood at a time. Big counties, big cities, they're big. You can get scattered all over the place, adding properties from all over. Go neighborhood to neighborhood and start knocking them down one by one. The motivation is already there. You just need to find it and make contact. Let me put it into another perspective. If you found 10 abandoned houses that are completely not livable, what are the chances that at least 2 to 3 of them are willing to sell? From my experience, the chances are very high. Now on to the next point, the simple cold calling framework. You got a list of houses, you got the homeowner's information to actually call them. Now it's about calling them. Here is my exact opening line. Hey John, this is Cam. I just had a quick question for you regarding that property at 123 Main Street. Yeah, just wanted to see if there was any interest in selling that in the near future. Now, if they say maybe or yes, this is what you have to say. Gotcha, yeah, so I was just kind of cruising around the area and I stumbled across that property and it kind of piqued my interest. If you have about 5 or 10 minutes, I'd love to get a good understanding of the condition of this property, see if it's something that's up my alley, and maybe I can give you an offer later on today. That last line right there is how you make sure that these sellers don't hang up on you. And more importantly, they don't try to rush you off the phone. Reason being, you let them know, I need 5 or 10 minutes. This is what we're going to talk about, and this is what the outcome of the call is going to be. You don't want these sellers to be guessing what's around the next corner. Let them know what's going on. Set that stage, set that expectation, and go on with the qualification. Now, once they have agreed on going on with your call, the first question that you must ask is, so yeah, Mr. Seller, first thing I want to ask is just, what has you thinking about wanting to sell this property? Let them talk, probe a little bit on the points that they're making, and they will tell you why they are motivated to sell this property. And your job is to look for pain points. Bad tenants, too many repairs, an inherited property. Extract and probe on these inconveniences that is making these sellers even think about wanting to sell. Start off with about 100 calls a day and track your numbers on a simple spreadsheet. It's just like fishing. Some days you catch nothing, other days you get multiple bites. Most people quit right here, but this is where the money is made. The next thing that I want to cover is making offers and getting contracts signed. When it comes to figuring out the price that you want to offer to a homeowner, here is the simple formula. Find houses that are damn near identical to the subject property that you're going to make an offer on, subtract how much you want to make. Are there other ways to calculate your offer price? Yes, but this is the way that you can get results faster than ever. For example, here's a property that me and my team just recently locked up. And here's a property that recently sold that is damn near identical to the one that we needed to make an offer on that sold for $60,000. So what did we do? We offered $40,000 on this property. Now what did we end up doing with that property? We sold it for $55,000. Do the math on that. That's $15,000 profit. No special calculator, no special formula, just something simple that works. To find those comparable properties, just use a website like Zillow or Redfin and start looking at the houses that have sold within the last 6 months within at least a mile radius. If you want to get more granular with it, just look in that specific neighborhood, that specific pocket, and don't cross any main roads. Now, once you do make that offer to that homeowner and they do accept it, the only thing that you need to say is, great, let me get this in writing so we're both protected. You can use DocuSign to send over that purchase and sale agreement, or you can just email it out to them. The most important thing within that contract is to give yourself at least 14 to 21 days within your inspection period, just in case if you need to back out if you don't find a buyer. This is your safety net if you can find a cash buyer. I'm not going to get into the whole gist of purchase and sale agreements or wholesale contracts. I'll link a video right here where I break down all the contracts that you need for wholesale real estate. So now that you got a property under contract, you need to find a cash buyer to sell it to. So let's get into that. Now, quick note, this is not where you stop generating leads and finding more houses to put under contract. So while you're starting to build a buyer's list to sell this deal that you have under contract, you still need to be generating leads. This is how you keep wood in the campfire. Now, I'm going to keep this as simple as possible because finding cash buyers is actually the easiest part. Great investments are always going to have a high demand, and that is your job right now as a wholesaler, is finding great investments for these investors. So this is how you're going to build your cash buyers list. Go on to Zillow, look for recently sold properties. Go over to the filter section, scroll down to where it says keywords and type in as is or investor. That is automatically going to filter it all the way down to only showing you properties that have been bought and sold by investors. And how are you going to get in touch with those buyers? Well, you're going to add those properties to Deal Machine. And what is Deal Machine going to do? It's going to give you the cash buyer's phone number. And if you are having trouble getting in touch with the investors, simply call the realtor that is listed in the description on Zillow. And when it comes to talking with cash buyers, it is so simple. All you have to do is call them and say, hey, I saw you bought that property at 123 Main Street. I got another one that I'm looking to unload right down the corner. Are you interested in buying it? You'll see for yourself. When you go onto Zillow and you do this, you will be able to see that there are hundreds of cash buyers locally to you. Add the names and the numbers into a list and start pushing your deal out to them. Realistically, you only need 2 to 3 solid buyers for this to all work. And in simple terms, just think of this as building up your customer list for your business. So now that we've covered all of that, let's talk about your 30-day action plan and realistic expectations. Week 1, set up Deal Machine and build your list of 100 distressed properties. Week 2, start making 100 calls every single day and track conversions in a simple spreadsheet. Week number 3, continue calling and start hammering out offers to anybody who says that they're interested in selling now or in the near future. If you're generating leads and not making offers to every single person that said that they are interested in selling, what are you doing? Now, by the end of week number 4, you're making 100 dials every single day, 5 days a week. That's 2,000 dials. And when you factor in the 10% rule, you should have at least 2 people that you should be able to make an offer to and get a contract signed. Now, when I say the 10% rule, you make 2,000 dials, 10% of those people are actually going to answer the phone. So now you're at 200 people that you can talk to. Out of those 200 people, 10% of them will be interested in selling. Now, within those 20 people that are interested in selling, 10% of them should get a contract out to them and signed. And that is the beauty about wholesaling. It is all a numbers game and everything can be backtracked to the exact goal that you're trying to hit. Slow and steady wins the race. 100 dials a day can take you about 2 to 3 hours. This is not hard. You'll probably make over 1,000 calls before you get that first contract signed, but keep in mind, that is completely normal. I kid you not, I made over 5,000 calls before I got my first contract signed. Do not get discouraged. Your first closed deal might be $5,000 to $15,000, not $50,000. Focus on proving that this works. If you're working part-time on this, 60 to 90 days is more realistic and it's totally fine. Look, I'm not gonna lie and say everybody who watches this video will close a deal in the next 30 days. Some of you will, some will take longer, and some won't follow through at all. But the ones who do follow this playbook consistently are the ones who end up building a real wholesale business. If you wanna see how we help people go from closing their first deal to building a full wholesale business, check out the Inner Circle program in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.